us in a word of prayer. So Logiri girls, over to you. Lead us in a word of prayer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ronald, our host, and all the participants that are here in this very first Zoom meeting. Let's humble ourselves and we pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. God our Father, we want to thank you for this great moment. You have brought us together from all corners of this country for this noble cause where we're going to share a number of issues regarding the schools that we are running and regarding the way forward for all of us to move in this platform. We thank you for the gift of the schools, the people, and also the people from the Ministry of Education and Sports for this brilliant idea of bringing us together into this Zoom meeting. Lord, we want to ask you to bless us, give us the wisdom and the platform. May you keep it open so that we're able to continue with this meeting, which should be able to open our minds to a new world in the digital arena. We want to thank you again. May you be with us in all that we do. We ask all this through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Logiri girls. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to this session. For those who have not interacted with me, my name is Ronald Dungu. I'm a Principal Education Officer in the Ministry of Education and Sports. Currently, I'm sitting at Serena Chigo, where we have been interfacing with the Parliamentary Committee on Education, and we have been discussing the issues of education, especially transforming education. So I'm happy that this afternoon we are meeting. I was actually worried because we had a meeting that overstretched, and I had another meeting with the permanent secretary, which we have agreed to reschedule because this meeting was coming up and it was very important to us as a ministry to see the way forward for education in our country. So we are here to learn about starting a school blog. Now, why are we talking about starting a school blog? The reason is very simple. We must learn from each other. We must learn from each other, and it is very important to learn from each other.
Use the key there and first close this door.
I will mute you. We request that you keep your microphones down so that we can hear each other. So I was just saying that collaborative learning across schools is very important. And a blog is going to be one of those vehicles that tell us what is happening in your school. We want to know what is happening in Logiri Girls. We want to know what's happening in All Saints. We want to know what's happening in Pajule. We want to know what is happening in Mbale SS, in Zewu, in Zombo. We want to know what's happening everywhere. And that is very important. We are struggling with a new curriculum. Some schools already know what to do. There are projects that are running in schools. There are activities that are running in schools. When you share what you do on a blog, then it means that we are learning with you. We can follow you and we can get to know. That is the simple reason. But at the height of it, as a Ministry of Education, we want to showcase our schools. We want people who are coming to Uganda and are asking about secondary schools to Google secondary schools in Uganda, and the person who has a very active blog will shoot up and they will see your school. So this is going to be beneficial to you as a school, as well as beneficial to us as a nation, and all of us will be learning with you. I know that the presenter will take us through the basics of setting up a blog and also try to stretch us a little bit. But the discussion will not be completed today. The discussion will be completed as we continue interacting in many other sessions. I bring you greetings from the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Education, who has actually allowed me to come and attend this meeting and put off another meeting for that reason. And by that, she also brings greetings to you from the political leadership of the ministry. And for us at Government Secondary, we are always excited to see schools that are leading the way. And your schools today are going to lead the way into creating blogs for schools. And while we may seem to be a small number today, this is going to be like fire catching up the rest of the schools in the country. So what you are going to do in your own school, on your own blog, is what is going to drive the other schools to this engagement. Therefore, you are not training for yourselves only. You are training to support the rest of the schools across the country. So wherever you are coming from, whatever district you are coming from, whatever region, you know that you are going to be the key person, the key school to support others. With those few remarks, I want to welcome everybody, and now welcome our presenter, Mr. Luca Bruno, and hand over to him so that he can start us off with making blogs. Over to you, Mr. Bruno. And I will request that maybe we now switch off our videos so that we can reduce on the bandwidth for the rest of our friends. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Bruno.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dungu. And I just need the participants, just type 1 in the chat if you can hear me well, so that I just know. Yes, St. John Paul, I see you can hear me. Nagiri girls, well, perfect. So thank you very much, and I want to welcome you to this session. So I will have my video on for a bit of a time, so that maybe in the event that you run into me sometime on the street, you'll be able to recognize me. So my name is Bruno Oluka. I am in charge of IT at Gayaza High School. That's one of the lives I live. The second life I live is I am an entrepreneur. I have an IT business that I run. I have a company. We build mobile apps. I have a team with me that does apps, that does websites, and of course, during the day, on certain occasions, I also take part in the development of some of the websites that we do. So my background is in IT. I've been in IT for maybe like 10 years now, 10 or 12 years. Interestingly enough, I hadn't used a computer until I was in my senior 6 vacation. But when I look at the time I have used the computers, it's been about, I think, 14 years or so. And so I want to thank Mr. Dungu for having invited me and giving me an opportunity to come and share with you some of the knowledge regarding creating blogs. And like he had said in his introduction, blogs are basically online, they're like online platforms where we get to know what is happening in certain places. It's like your personal story, a location where you put your stories, and then people are going to come and read those stories and basically know what is happening, what you're doing, and yes. So the session, I hope we won't take so long, and I have planned for about 45 minutes or so, just to take you through what the requirements are. I will be sharing my screen shortly. But generally, when you're going to set up a blog, there are a few important things for us to keep in mind. I don't have slides, but let me just walk through what I noted down in my book. So the session is basically going to focus on WordPress. WordPress is a web software that is basically used to create websites and blogs. Okay, one of the advantages of using WordPress is that it's user-friendly and it is versatile and it has a very large user base. Around 70% of the websites in the world basically run on WordPress. Okay, and as I do my presentation later on, I'll maybe share with you the difference between WordPress.com, which is like the one they host for you, compared to why it is different from the self-hosted. So most times there are two ways you can host a website. You can either have a website which you're hosting yourself, or you could have the website hosted on WordPress.com. Okay. So so in our session, we are basically going to use WordPress.com, and I'm going to share my screen shortly so that we just basically walk through that process. And if you're going to maybe take down some notes, maybe these are important things for us to note down. So our session is basically going to focus on creating a blog for your school using WordPress.com. And let me just share my screen, and so that we go through that process. Okay, so I just need someone to confirm that they can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the very first,
Able to see.
yes, so the first step we need when we're starting up our blog is first you need a working email address. Okay, and in this case, if you have like a school email or you have a personal email, what you need is, step one is you need an email account. Okay, it can be Gmail or it can be anything. Okay, so you need a working email, and then we are going to head over to WordPress.com. Okay, so when you go to WordPress.com, you'll be taken to the first initial landing page. So this is the page where you're presented. Now, the first step here is, and like to build and grow your website, you basically need to create an account. So I am going to create an account. So you create your account by clicking on get started. This will take you to a registration page. In this registration page, you will provide your email, your desired username, and the password that you will be using to access the website so that you're able to add content to your website. Okay, and I'm going to, so there are two ways you can do this. If you're on a computer where you are already logged in your Google account, in your Gmail, you can basically click on continue with Google, or you can basically fill out this information. So I am going to fill out I'm going to put an email, then I'm going to choose a username. Let's come up with, let's do one for one of the schools. Okay. Let me say I have a school called, okay. And then I'm going to choose a password. Okay. Now you notice here that the username I have chosen already exists. Okay. So I'm going to say, so this school doesn't exist. I'm just trying to come up with okay, so I'm going to choose a password. Usually your password needs to be a bit strong. So let me choose a password here. And then, so you need to be able to remember what your username is and the email you have used for creating the account. Okay. So when you're done, you click on create your account. And then, okay. Now at this particular point, the process for creating the account asks you to choose a domain. Okay. If I may just explain what the domain is. The domain is what would ideally be, let's say, let me say, which example can I use? If we have a school, let's say All Saints SS Arua. So if I said allsaintsarua.com, that would have to be the domain. Okay. Or I can say Awara College, maybe .sc.ug. So that would be the domain name. So I'm not sure if some of the schools already have existing domains. Okay. Okay. So I'm not sure if some of the schools have existing domains, but in any case, we are going to use a free account. And then at the end of the video, I'll be showing you how eventually you can migrate your website to an existing domain in the event that you have one. Okay. So for now, I am going to click on the option that says choose my domain later. Okay. So if you already have a domain, there's also an option for you to attach your existing domain. Okay. So I'm going to click on choose a domain later. Then we are taken to this page where we are supposed to choose the plan we want to use. So most of these other plans are paid. Okay, so there's this one of $4 per month, $8.25 up to the other ones, okay, which are so expensive. For our demonstration, we are going to be using the free plan. Okay, so I'm going to click on start with free. So what the platform is doing is to set up the initial starting content for us. On this page, the process asks us what our goal is. Okay, so do you want to promote yourself or your business? Do you want to write and publish? Do you want to sell online? Okay, so I think for now we can say we want to write and publish. Okay, then we go to continue. Okay, so here is where we type the name for our blog. So let me say so if I say my blog is going to be called Ntuma Photography, okay, then I can say a tagline is like a motto, okay. So I can say if I want a motto for my photography studio, okay. So here you would have to maybe put the school motto or something. So you click on continue. Okay. So at this particular point, we are almost getting to the dashboard of our temporary site. So here you can either choose to skip this because we shall find this information again. So I'm going to just basically skip to. I'm going to skip so that they take me straight to the landing page of our website that we are creating. Okay. Okay. So this is that is like the first step. Okay. Now, currently I have, so this is going to be like the name of my website, ntumaphotos.wordpress.com, but this is not fixed. In the event that you probably prefer to change the name, you're able to edit that name from here. Okay, I'll be showing you how you can change the name. So here we are like, so far we are like at 40% done setting up the site. So here they give us just a small preview of what the site structure looks like. So here I am going to click on skip. Okay. All right, so now we are almost done setting up the website. Okay. So what you see here is what we call a dashboard. Okay. So a dashboard is like it's like the driver seat of your website. Okay. And in this dashboard, you're able to manage a lot of things. Okay. You can create pages, you can, okay, upload images, you can create posts. Like posts are like the different stories you want to post, like either weekly, depending on the intervals. You can see the comments people have posted on your website, on your articles. Okay, all that can be is what the website can give you. Now, so I am going to request that as I do the presentation, we in case there's a question, you feel free to send in your questions in the chat, so that I can answer them as we go through the tutorial. So at this point, we have done the initial part of setting up the website, but there are a few things that are not yet complete. Okay, that we are going to complete right now. Okay, so right now, this is basically the structure of our website. If you can see on my right here, I don't know, there's a button that says visit website. Okay, so I am going to open it in a new tab just to have a feel of what the website so far looks like. Okay, so if I open this website on a new page, so right now this is what I have. Okay, it's basically a blank slate, and it has like just one example of a post that is basically welcoming us to WordPress. Okay, there are no menus, there are no pictures. Okay, so that is what we are going to basically be focusing on. Okay, so I don't know if at this point there's a question. Okay, so far what we've covered, we've gone to wordpress.com, we've created an account, we selected the free plan, and in the free plan, wordpress.com generated for us a name. So the name is basically based on what we typed the name of our website to be, and then we've set up the page, we've set up the structure of the website. Okay, and now everything is almost ready for us. So once we've completed all these steps, the remaining thing is for us to begin posting content and launching the website. Now, before you can launch your website, okay, it's always recommended that you at least post some content so that the website has content. Okay, but before we get to the point where we create websites, let me just walk through what this interface is now. on this interface, we are able to manage a lot of things about our website. The first starting point must always be changing the appearance of the website. So you notice that when we created a website and we created a name, they gave us this black design and all that, okay? But maybe we don't want to use that black design, okay? So we can come back here and then we go to, on the left side of our screen, we have a menu called Appearance, okay? So under Appearance, we can choose to customize our appearance. We can choose to change the design of the website, okay? So let's pick a theme. So WordPress websites are powered by what we call themes. So a theme is a pre-designed layout that you can choose and use on your website. So if I go on my left here under Appearance, the first thing we are going to do is let's agree on a design for the website, okay? Later on, I will mention what the plugins are, what users are, what you find in tools, what you find in settings. So we're going to start by changing the design. So right now, we're actually now customizing the website, okay? If you go to themes, you are presented with sample designs that we want, that you can pick from. So right now, our site is using this black theme called Livro, okay? But I can go through these themes and pick one that, so I'm going to ask someone as I scroll to basically propose a theme for us. So there's this one, okay? But there are also categories up here. For example, if you want to do a blog, then you need to click on blog as a category, and then they'll show you designs that would best work for a blog. Okay, so you can scroll through and then you pick one that you feel interests you. Okay, so all this, so blog, I don't see something nice that can work for me. I can go to portfolio. Now, for example, if I'm doing a blog for photography, okay, maybe I can check under portfolio. Then I can scroll through and maybe find a theme that will communicate my product better. Okay. So
Bruno, you could use the Jida.
Where is it?
Jida is scroll here. On the left here, just below organizer here.
This one. Okay. So
yes,
once this is the theme you want, you basically click on it. Okay. And then you activate that design for your website. Okay. So if I click on this, of course, there will be a notification asking you that if you activate this layout, it replaces the existing. So you basically need to say it's okay, and then you activate. Okay. So that the new design has been activated. If I go back to this other template where I'm viewing the site, okay. So now you can see the design has changed a bit, okay. So I normally prefer that you have two things open. You have this open on the left where you do the changes, and then on the second tab where you can go and preview the changes that you've done, okay. So we have selected a theme. Now, if we look at this theme, right now we only have, so basically the typical features of a website include things like menus, okay? So your site should have menus. So let's say, for example, we need to have a page that talks about the business, or about a page about the school. Then you need to have like a contact page. For example, in my case, I would have a page for services, maybe a page for portfolio, okay? So the depending on what your blog is going to have, you can easily decide or establish the pages you need. Okay, so let's say I'm going to have
Mr. Bruno,
Yes.
just a quick one here. Since we are all schools, I think it would be good if we give examples relating to schools for this matter.
All right, okay, fine. So we're going to do one for school. Okay. So let's actually use an example of a school. So for a school setting, for example, we are going to have about, then maybe academics, then after academics, maybe we have contact us, then maybe information about students. I don't know what else do we have on a school blog?
Co-curricular activities.
Curricular activities, then there's news. Okay, example. That's what we need to create. Okay, so to achieve that, we need to begin. So when we come back here, we need to click on back to dashboard on the top left here. So we go back to the dashboard and then we'll begin creating those pages. So on the left here, we go to pages. Then now we are going to begin creating the pages. Okay. So right now we have one page called about, where we shall, for example, put information about the school. So let's create another page, which we shall call maybe academics. Now, when you're creating the page, the beauty about WordPress.com is they give you like some sample designs. Okay. So if let me start with a contact page. If I go to contact page, let's just pick one of them. Let's pick this one. Okay. Let's pick this. And then this is going to be like our contact page. Then we can click on publish. Okay. On the top right, there's publish. Okay. So that will publish our page. Then we can click on this button that says new page. Then we're going to create a page for co-curricular activities or academics, whatever. So depending on how many pages we are going to create on our website, then we just basically go ahead and. So when I look at co-curricular activities, I can look at a category like services, maybe. Okay, let me just wait for this to load. So you basically explore some of the available designs on the left here and see if there's one that meets your, okay. Okay, so maybe I'll use this for my co-curricular activities. So you basically click on it and then you can publish it also. Later on, we'll be changing up the names, okay? But I can call this. To change the name, you basically click on the current presented title here. So I can also publish that one. So let me add a few more pages, maybe 3, and then we shall maybe customize them. So I want to do a new page. I'm going to do a blank page so that we can actually see how that can be customized as well. Okay, so I'm going to do this blank page. Then I'm going to call it academics. Then I can publish it. So the first thing we do is we first create the pages. Once we've created all the pages, then now we can go ahead and begin customizing the pages and how they should look like. Okay. Okay. So for now, I'm going to click on this icon at the top here with a W, it takes me back to my all pages so that I can now view them again. So these are the pages we have created. So we have a page for about, academics, co-curricular, and then contact. Okay. Maybe let's add one more page for showing the blog posts. Okay. So I can again add a new page here, because we need to have a page where we're going to share the stories about the stories that are happening in the school. Okay. So I'm going to come and look for the category here of blog. And then we choose the layout. How do we want our blog posts to look like? Okay. So we look at the provided designs. Okay. And then once we are satisfied with one of the designs, we basically select it. Okay. So let me maybe pick this one. I can call this maybe the stories from the school. Okay. And I can publish it as well. Okay. So far we have created some pages, and the next task is for us to begin customizing the pages. Okay. That I will show you that shortly. So if I click on this W again, the icon with the W, it's able to take us back to all pages. Okay. And it takes us back to the main dashboard. Okay. Now, there's something about some most people are not comfortable using this type of dashboard. I'll be showing you how you'll be able to now edit it more easily, because when you add more users to your website, they can't be accessing the website using this same link that you use. Okay, for them, they'll be able to use a different interface, but it looks exactly like this one. Okay, so after creating your pages, if I go to my website now, you realize that the pages have automatically appeared up here. Okay, so we have about, academics, co-curricular, contact, and then stories. Okay, so those pages have been added to the menu automatically. So if I go to my about page now, okay, so right now the about pages looks like this. It's blank. Okay, so I'm going to begin customizing. Let's start by customizing the about page. So if I come back to the main dashboard here, I'm going to come to, I can click on edit. So this is the list of the pages. On the left, if I go to pages, I am able to see a list of all the pages. Okay, there's about here, and then I can edit it. Okay, so if I go to edit, okay, so I am presented with the interface for editing this page. Okay, so editing is basically not very difficult. Okay, there's a tutorial here that you can just go through, but for now I think let's see. So this editor is called a block editor. Okay, it basically allows you to get elements from like a panel and you drop them into your page. Okay, and it's very, very user friendly, and we're just going to quickly see how it works. Okay. Okay, so this is our about page. I'm going to click on this this link, this button here. So clicking on this button here is going to open for you a side element here that allows us to basically customize this this website. Okay. So what should we put on the about page, for example? I'm going to begin adding elements. So basically, the structure of a web page depends on what you want. So I'm going to structure my web page in the context of, I will have like a banner at the top, and then below the banner, I will have the content. And The best way to do this is by building your website, your web page using what we call containers. Okay. So if I click on this plus sign, okay, it's going to show me a list of elements that I can add to this website. Okay. And this is the list of all the elements that I can add on this website. Okay. Their latest posts, their search, their pages, there are so many elements. When you have some bit of time, I think you'll be able to go through them and see. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to use an element. Yeah. Let me just find, there's an element I'm looking for here. I don't seem to see it. Let's start by putting I want to put like a banner on top of the page. Okay. So when I go to blocks, there must be a block called banner, either banner or cover. Okay. So I'm going to put a cover, and then I'm going to select a picture. So a banner is like, if you've seen most websites, there's always like a large image at the top and then the content below. So I'm going to select an image. I'm going to click on, okay. So I'm going to select this image. Okay. So after selecting the image, so this means that you would also have to have selected images to use. Okay. So I click on update. If I go back to my page now and I refresh, that image is going to appear. But right now it's appearing below. Okay. But then I can also decide to move the image up. So if I select on this element, there are buttons here for moving it up. So I can move it up so that it appears before the text. And then you can save again. And then if you go and refresh, you're able to see the image appear there. So basically that's how you can add the image to page. So depending on, I don't know if someone has a suggestion on what this page should, what else we should add to this page. So you could put it, you can put some text here. And then you'd have to come and write some information here. So let me look for some about information that I have.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
We had asked the schools to write something on the history of the school. Could this be a page for the history?
Yes, this would be the page for the history. Okay. So here I've pasted some information that I have somewhere, okay, about our school. Okay. And then, so you basically need to first prepare the information like I've done here. So I have some information prepared. So maybe if I want even to talk about a location, okay, I can basically have it pre-written somewhere. And then when I come here, if I want to add more text below this one, there's a black plus sign here. I can click on this plus sign. Okay. And then I can say, let me first add a heading called location. Okay. Then if I click away, this black cross again comes. Now I want to add a paragraph. So you basically construct your website using headings and paragraphs. So after location, maybe I want to add something else. If I come back here, maybe I want to add a brief history. I can come back, copy my text. I come back here and then click on this plus sign. I pick another heading. Then I add history. When you click away from that text, this black plus means add more content. Then I can add one last item, maybe about the history. Okay. Then I can save this page again. If I come back and refresh this page, okay. Okay, so now you can see there's location, there's history. So you can add as many elements as you want, okay, to this page. Now, when you're done with that one page, you can click on this logo again, and then now you can go and pick, let's say, the academics page. Okay. So now we need to edit the academics page as well. Okay. So right now our academics page is blank. Okay. But if I come here, I can begin adding elements to this page. So I can add an element by clicking on this plus sign on the left, or I can directly click on this one to add a block. Okay. So I come and look for, I can click on browse all, and then you get a list of all the types of elements you can add to your blog. Okay. Let me scroll here. Assuming you want to add a video, then you have to say, I want to add a video. So let me look for an element here. Okay. So I'm going to choose a layout grid. Okay. Okay. So basically a layout grid is like you can know how like you have a table and then you begin dividing that table into small portions. Okay. So that's generally what a layout is. Now inside this, a layout is like a big container. So inside this container, I can decide to add more elements inside it. So I can add maybe a heading. Okay. Our curriculum. Okay. And then I can add a paragraph. Okay. So if I go to curriculum, I don't know if I have, for now I'll just pick some random text. Okay. Okay. So if I come here and pick this text, okay. So Mr. Dong, I think it's very critical that that the teachers need to first understand, they need to first kind of compile the information they want to present on the website before they actually begin creating the pages, because now the pages will need to be populated using that content. So if I click on publish.
Mr.
Okay.
Bruno.
Yes.
I had actually asked them to locate at least one project they have done in the new curriculum, or any activity, whether it's sports activity, with a small write-up on that.
Okay.
I think that's what they're going to be doing next.
Okay. So let me go to academics so that we just see what is in our academics page. Okay. So right now, if I go into the academics page, okay, this is what I have just posted. Okay. And if you feel like maybe, okay, fine, I don't like the title, maybe I want to remove it, you can basically go back to this particular page. Okay. And then you can remove it. Okay. It's okay for you to remove the heading, and then you can save again. Okay, that will remove the heading from that page. Okay. Then there are other things you can add. Let me say, if I wanted to add a picture here, I can go here. I can click the plus sign again. Then let me add a gallery of images. Okay. So let me upload some images. Okay, so I'm looking for some pages to use. Okay. Okay. So you can select even up to 4 images, and then those images will be uploaded to that section. Now, this will be very helpful in the event that you want to post images about the project the students have worked on. Okay, so you can basically write a brief description about the project. I'll be showing you next how you can create the blog posts. Okay, and then if I publish this, okay, I can go back to academics, and then if I refresh the page, my images will appear directly below the content. So you could have images there, and then you could have more paragraphs below the picture. Okay, so generally that is how all the pages are created. The next one is, I'm not going to create the one for maybe another page. For now, let's look at what stories look like. Okay, so the stories in this case is a page which we can call a blog. Okay, so the difference between pages and blogs are, pages are static. Once you create the page, if it is an about page, that information is not going to change. Okay, the contact page is also static. It's not going to be having updated information every week. Okay, if you're going to talk about co-curricular activities in your school, once you have set up the page, okay, then the curricular activities you've added there and listed on the page are also static. They're not going to be changing. So the most dynamic part of the website is going to be the page where you're going to post the stories, the blog posts, okay, or the blog stories, okay? And in my case, I have called that page stories, okay? So if I come back to our dashboard here, and then I click on the black logo to go back to the block editor, I'm going to find that page, and then I'm going to show you how you set up that page so that that page is able to show, so that the page is able to show the blog posts. And then we shall post at least some 3 blog posts, and then we'll basically see how they work. Okay, so when I come back here, I'm going to go back to pages. Then this page for the stories, I'm going to edit it. Okay, then, so here what I want to do is, so right now, this website basically has one introduction post, okay? But maybe before we come back to this page, allow me just to go back and maybe let's add some blog posts. So it will make more sense if we have more blog posts. So we're going to generate some blog posts. So I'm going to create some blog posts, and then we shall post them so that we see them here. Okay, so right now we've looked at what pages are. So we're going to look at this next section called posts. So posts are the actual blogs, the blog posts Mr. Ndunga has talked about. Okay, and okay, so the information, once you paste information, there was a question from Mark, can the information put earlier be removed and replaced after publishing? Yes. So all the pages are editable. Okay. So all the pages are editable. You can go back and remove the content and even just redesign the page completely. Okay. So if I go into this page for blog, okay, I can say I want to add a new blog post. Can someone who has recently had a project with students, what was the project about? So anyone who wants
was about making sandals.
Using what?
Using local materials, especially car tires. I mean, worn out car tires.
Okay. Okay.
And
So that's
nylon.
okay.
Nylon thread.
Okay. Is that the correct spelling of tires?
Yeah, it is correct.
So then I'm going to, so let me just generate somewhat. So I'll just generate some blog post, some random blog post, and then we can use it. So I'm going to use a tool called ChatGPT for generating the what? For generating this, okay? Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so I'm trying to generate a code so that I can create some blog posts.
It is making sandals, not creating.
Oh, making, yeah, it will autocorrect. Okay, so I don't know how many of you have used ChatGPT. It's a tool, it's an AI that you can use to basically generate content, okay? Especially if you're working with
Bruno, that is something one of the professors was talking about sometime, but I think we still need to learn more on this. And probably we shall have another day for this whole thing now.
Okay. Okay, so now, for example, here, so the content we are generating basically is talking about the different steps. Okay, for example, in a blog post, you basically highlight what the process looked like. Okay, so I'm going to grab this information and post it on our post. Okay, And then later on, of course, we expect that you actually write a blog post about the activity the students have done. Okay, so if I come back here and then our blog post is here, I can come back here and then I basically paste I paste all the content that I got from ChatGPT. Okay. So here, of course, now we would have to like correct the information, but let me just post this article. Okay. So this article is missing like pictures. Okay. So assuming there was a picture where the students are, where maybe finishing touches, I could come here and then I could add a picture. Okay. I could come here and then say, let me say I want to add an image because we want to show an image showing that the students actually doing something. Okay. So I can say select an image. Let me pick an image from here. Okay. Okay, assuming this was our picture. Okay. So I can basically come and select that picture and add, it gets added to the blog post. So where at different places where the students were doing certain activities, okay, maybe at the part for assembly, maybe design and customization, if there was a picture of the hand-drawn things they've drawn on a piece of paper, maybe you took a picture of that. Okay, basically you add pictures to the blog post. Okay, so now I want to, if I go back to this page and refresh the page, you can see my blog post is now here, making sandals using cat tires. And if I click on that, okay, the article will be here. Allow me to change a browser. This thing is, I don't know why it's black. Okay. So this is our website, our web page. So once you have finished creating the different pages and content, the last thing you need to do is to actually launch the site. Okay. So right now, if you go to this website on your computer, let me paste it in the chat. It's not going to open because it's not yet launched. Okay. Where is the chat? Okay. So the website I'm currently working on, that is the link in the chat. But right now, if you send people that link, it won't open. Reason being, the site hasn't been actually launched. So once you have finished designing the pages, you need to come back to the website and click this button that says launch site. So if you click on launch site, okay. Okay. Of course, the WordPress, of course, begins telling you that, you know what, you should pick a domain and all that, but we're just going to ignore all that and find the option, okay, which says skip what? Skip purchase, okay, at the very, very bottom, okay? Then we choose the option of keep this plan. So we're going to keep our free plan, and then it will basically, our site gets published. Okay. So there are a few more things we haven't looked like. For example, we need to verify our email before our website is published. So I'm going to come back here and verify my email. Okay. So you need to go back to your email and verify, confirm your email before the website can actually launch. I think we forgot to verify the email initially. So once we verified our email, okay, we can now come back and visit the website. Okay. Now, if you actually now check on your side, this website should be able to open. So I don't know, Mr. Dongo, I'm thinking maybe we allow people to first create their accounts, okay, if they can, okay. They can create a WordPress account, they can verify their email, and then at least they create one of the pages, okay? They create an additional page, and then maybe we can give them some 15 minutes to create an account or 10 and verify the email.
Mr. Bruno.
Yes.
Just a quick one here. This is Logiri. I wanted to know, one, can you choose a domain address apart from .com? Then the second one is, why do we choose a free plan? How sustainable is it in the short and medium and long term?
Okay. Thank you. I'll give it. So right now, what there are costs associated with having a website. Okay. The first cost you need to meet is the cost for the domain name itself. I'm going to show you where to buy the domain from. Okay, so the domain name comes at a cost, and then you also have to pay, and that cost is annual. So every year you need to pay some money to renew your domain, and then you also need something called domain hosting. Okay, so domain hosting is a paid service which allows you to have your website online on, let's say, on WordPress, for example. You saw the pricing plans. There's one of $4, there's one of $8 per month. Now, if you choose a paid version, then you're able to have your customized name. But it means you need to meet that cost if you're going to do the one of $8 per month. Okay, 8 times 12 gives you okay, I don't know. 8 times 12 is what? Is it 8 or something? Okay, I think 144, $96. So it means you have to spare at least $96, which is about I think $350,000 per year for hosting your domain. The only beauty is you'll have maybe logiri.com, okay, or .sc.ug. That is for hosting. Then you have to pay a separate fee for the name. Now, there's a website, there's a company called i3C. Let me type their website here. So there's a company called i3C Uganda. They're the ones that if you want your website to be, let's say, for example, our school website would be gayazahs.sc.ug. You've seen Chambogo is kyu.sc.ug. So many schools have .sc.ug, okay, even universities. So that domain costs, I think, about almost 100,000 per year. So it means you need to set aside about 450,000 every year to basically keep the website online. That's the difference.
Okay. I think this question is well answered.
Yeah.
So I would think we have moved on so robustly. I think it would have been better if we started with the creating the website, and then maybe now adding content to it would be another thing. So I don't know. We didn't also choose what
Mr.
time.
Mr. Bruno, if we can, I see it is coming to 4. We started 2:30, and we wanted to do only 2 hours. So
yes.
I'm thinking that if you can take us back now, so that at least we create an account.
Okay.
We go slowly. For those who can, you keep giving us a task. 5 minutes, we check to see if we can move on, and we see what we can do.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to give us 5 minutes. So everyone, you're going to go to wordpress.com, okay? And then you click on get started, okay? So we are all going to go there. And then once you've gone to wordpress.com, you're going to click on get started, okay? Okay. And then once you click on get started or create account, you'll walk through the process. I'll stay on the call, and then you'll be able to maybe ask questions, and then I'll walk you through. And then you'll verify your email, okay? Because you will receive an email. So use the same browser you're using, which has your email logged in, so that you can easily verify the email from that same browser. So I think let's give them 5 minutes to have their accounts created and email verified. And then we can pick up from that. I think if you have a question, you'll be able to ask your questions as you create your account, and I'll be here to maybe respond to them. And then I'll basically show you one last thing. Once your site has been developed on WordPress.com, it's possible for you to completely export it to your new domain. So assuming you've done your website, you posted so many articles, okay? Erusi SS, maybe raise the hand, just give me a second. So once your website has been built from here, you can basically wake up one day, buy a domain, and completely export your website from here, and transfer it to the new domain you have.
Thank you. I don't know whether you're getting me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, now I have a question that when you look at the changing the themes, adding more pages and the content, then I don't know whether there's no limit to like for example, the images you're going to put, the sizes, and maybe generally the content for like for my school. What is the limit for the entire content that I'm supposed to put on especially that free part of the domain then?
Okay. So you've asked a very good question. So generally the free plan, of course, has its own setbacks. I'm not sure, I don't remember the total amount of space they give you, but you can upload at least some photos. I think they give you maybe 5 GB or something. Okay, either 5 or 3 GB of storage. And that is really extensive amount of storage. Okay, so but they give you, at least you're able to get some significant amount of storage. Additionally, one of the things WordPress recently launched is of course it want to work with us is for example, you can add images that are hosted elsewhere. Okay, for that would save you the space. But by the time they actually give you 1 GB on a free plan, but 1 GB of photos is really a lot of photos. Okay, I believe you've had photos on a flash disk or something. You take photos for a party, and then at the end of the day, the photos are probably 800 photos, but you've used less than 1 GB. So you have up to 1 GB of storage, as you can see from this highlighted part. Okay, I hope that answers your question. So can we go ahead and create those sample blogs, and then I think for uniformity we shall use the school name so that it becomes the schoolname.wordpress.com. You can abbreviate the school name if you wish. I think someone had asked a question how they can recover the email that was used for SMAGSS. You need to find the person that registered that website. Okay, St. Mary's Assumpta. Okay, someone must have registered that domain. One of the staff members. Basically need to find out who. If it is one of you that registered that domain, and you've forgotten the password, then you need to basically just go back and click on forgot password. On WordPress.com, you just need to say forgot password, and then you put your email. You'll be able to retrieve the account. Okay, so I am waiting for the first person to share the temporary link that has been generated for them. Okay, I hope we are creating the account. I need to at least see someone post, the first person to post their link here. Of course, what I will see is it will show that the website is coming soon, but I would like to at least open some of your blogs, okay? By 4, at least more than half of us should have shared the link to their website.
So Bruno, what do you want us to share? To share that dashboard, the link to that dashboard?
The link. So whenever,
dashboard.
Yes. No, to the website that has been created. So whoever creates their website and gets to this landing page, this interface, the link to your website appears up here. So it shows WordPress.com. Okay, but it also shows on the front here which name has been assigned to you.
I see mine is just saying verified. I don't know what that means. When it is verified, it shows verified. WordPress.com -read verified.
Okay.
Maybe let me see what it means. Charlie.
Okay. So also maybe in case someone, okay, so if you're able to get to this dashboard, okay, the one like this one, you can basically click on my home, and then you can come back here and say customize your domain. Okay. And then you can choose a different name. Okay. But so let me say, okay. So for example, I went into my home, then I said customize my domain. Okay. So I can say I want it to be Gayaza High School. Then I come back to the bottom and choose the free. Choose the free option.
I don't know where it has taken me. Let me check back and I see what it has done for me.
All right. Okay, so I see the Rusi SS maybe has already created theirs. Okay, you don't need to publish the site. Okay, coming soon. Okay, this has been created successfully. Then I see the one for okay, SMEGGS. Okay, Ediofe Girls. Okay, I see your blog. Okay, I need you to add a page for contact, a page for academics. Okay, let me see which other pages have been set up so far. St. John Paul, the second Guru. Okay.
Bruno,
Okay. Yes.
when I went to plans, I hope we were supposed to go up to that way. To plans to select the free plan. Were we supposed to go up to there?
Yes, you select the free plan.
Now, for me, it has, first of all, the free plan became freeze, and now it's telling me planning the next move. Is it connectivity? What is it?
It says planning the next move. Does it have
planning the next?
Does it have skip to dashboard on the top right?
No, this one, I think I better go back a bit because really now.
Let me see your screen.
Let us share my screen, I think. Oh, now let me give myself first rights in that. You see where I am?
Oh yes, I think you're having issues with connection. It should have also gone past that.
So it is connectivity, yeah?
Yeah, I think just refresh the page.
See, it brought me here.
Yes. Choose my domain later.
Then I came down.
The free plan.
Then I came to the free plan. Okay.
You can choose to skip to the dashboard if you want, or just click continue. So we look through the available themes, then we pick a design that we want to use.
Okay, then.
Okay, so I see at least so far 4 people have shared their links. Okay, 4, 3. Okay, so maybe as we, so just to bring this to some kind of summary. So once you have set up the blog, okay, the only remaining thing is for you to do the customizations, okay? It takes a bit of time to actually customize the website. It's not something we can do in one session like this and we get done. But maybe I'll just quickly show you one that I worked on. So after we are done, we basically begin creating pages. You set up all the pages you want on your website. So most times what I do is to list all the pages I want. Okay. Looking at this example, for example, this page. So I needed to have a page that talks about governance, about management of the school. Then I needed to have a pages that are going to show the core values, the vision and mission of the school. Then I also created pages that talk about the head teachers, maybe former head teachers. So I have information. So once you have laid out and listed all, you've listed everything you want to capture on the website, okay? You basically create content about them. So once the content is all there, okay? So if I look at this, then I talk about maybe the dormitories because we're a boarding school. Then I also have a write-up about each dormitory. So so this website that we worked on has like 80 pages, okay? Because all the pages are talking about different things within the school, okay? If I go to the page for projects, okay? So you can talk about the different projects that the students are doing, okay? And then under projects, you can basically describe what the projects are. And then in the blog is where you write these different stories about those projects, okay? So the other one is like an overview, and for it, it is static. Basically lists the categories of the projects that are there. So we just come back here quickly, and then, so we've looked at posts, we've looked at media is where you upload your pictures. So you can upload your pictures in advance. For example, you could get all the pictures you want to use on a website, you have them in a folder, and then you pre-upload them so that whenever you're writing a blog post, okay, when you're adding the blog posts, you basically just use the pictures that you have already uploaded. This menu for pages, okay, we went through it. It will list you all the pages you have. If I go to comments, okay, if you publish some articles and people have written comments, you're able to come and see the comments here and either delete them or approve them. Appearance, we looked at appearance. Appearance allows you to change the theme design you want, okay? You can always actually search here. There's a search, okay? If I search for school, okay, for example, they've given me this one. This is a sample design that can work for school, okay? So there's this one as well. It can best work for school, okay? I see there's another one here. So sometimes you actually need to do a search. By performing a search, you're able to find something that best works for school. And if I just basically pick one of these, let me pick this one. Now, the beauty is, once you change the theme, your content is not deleted, okay? So I can come and just change to this theme. I hope it is free, because we need a free theme, okay? So I basically update. So if I come back to my site now, my site should be able to use the new theme I think I've activated. I just hope it has activated. Okay. I don't think so. I think let's go back to. Okay, so this theme is not available for use on WordPress.com. Let's look for another one. So let's look for one which is free, maybe this one. Okay, even this one is not available. So the themes are generally restricted. Login had asked earlier on about the paid version. So the paid version gives you access to some of the themes. So you can see the challenge we have here. Some of them are not free. Okay, so I think this one is free. Let me activate this one. If I click on view website, okay. So this one is much closer to like a school kind of thing. So now we can now basically add some customization to this one. Okay. So I would like to welcome some questions so that maybe as we bring this to a close, okay. So that is what basically what is in, so you have things like testimonials, you can add testimonials, you could have like testimonials, we know what they are. Maybe you have interviewed students and they are writing a small testimony about how impactful a project has been or some activity has been for them. You can capture them there. So the things are really so many, we can't really cover them in a very short time. But once you have been able to set up at least the pages, the customizations can continue. Okay. So maybe lastly, Mr. Dungu, just allow me, if I go to customize under appearance, okay, maybe I just want to show this to the team. If you go to appearance, you can change a theme, but you can also customize. So customizing includes things like fonts, the logo. If I come here, you can choose your school logo. Now I don't have a logo, but I can go here and maybe select a logo. Okay. If I pick this as my logo, okay. Okay, so I put a logo there. Then after the logo, I can say maybe the theme colors for our school. I can come to colors and backgrounds. So our colors are red. Then I can come back and pick something else like the fonts. I say I want to use, so you can check through this and find which font you like. Okay. Maybe that font. For the headings, then you can say for the text in the pages, I am going to use, there's a font I want, maybe this one. Okay. Once you have chosen the font, you can come and say the image you want to use on the heading, maybe this one up there. So you basically do that, or you can pick this one of the book. Okay. So you can always pick one of the images or this one. Okay. But this is more of food, so it's a school. Let's pick this one. Okay, so I can save the changes. Then I go back to the menus. Okay, so right now, our menus are, we don't have a menu, okay, on this particular, the menu is there. So I can come and say, I want to update my menu. I'll show you shortly. And the content, there are a lot of customizations you can get here, okay? If you want to have sidebars, you can add them. You can go to the home page and then you can say, I want my home page to be a specific page if you create a particular page. So let me create a page called home. Okay. Okay. Then I can go back and customize that page so that it's my home page. And then there's testimonials. So everything here is customizable. So my recommendation is that the team finds some time, okay, and then they at least explore how the customizations work. Once you click things, you click on try them out, you basically understand how the things work on their own. Okay, so I can decide to create a menu called main menu. Okay, then I can simply use that menu for customizing everything in my site. I can also create a menu for my social. Okay, for like the footer, if you want to have like links in the footer, you can also use that option. You can create new menus. Okay, if you want to add social icons, you basically, there'll always be like an option like this where you can add a menu to show social icons, like for Instagram, Facebook, and so forth, Twitter. What else is in appearance? Okay. All right. So I think that that is it mainly. At the end of the day, when your site is ready, you can basically come to the option for tools. Then you can export your website, and then you can basically migrate it to another, your own hosting, assuming you decide to host your own website. Okay. All right, Mr. Dongo. If I don't know if there's anything
Thank
else
you,
you want to
Bruno.
add.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Bruno. Maybe if there are any questions, I know that this has been the starting point. We have a video that we are going to share, and teams can look back, because we are supposed to be trainers of others. I have also set out to do one. I know I had a blog all along which was not as organized as Mr. Bruno has put it, so I need to organize my next blog so that I also become a trainer. I'm also hoping that the members here are going to follow up, listening to the video you have recorded and following the steps, so that by the end of the year, we have some blogs of some schools, and we now need to begin collecting information, current information from schools, pictures, writings. Students can write about every activity you do or every activity they do with a teacher. And they will give you the stories. You go take pictures so that you can now publish, so that we see the activities in the schools. So members, is there anyone with a question before we call it a day? Bruno has put his email and phone number. Please take the phone number and his email in the chat and work with him. Work with him. Let me also quickly, I know we have not recorded down who has been on the call. That can be very dangerous if we don't know who to follow up. So let me just create, before we close, let me just create some bit of registration here. Any question for Mr. Bruno as I do this?
I think St. John Paul asks anything on e-learning. I don't know what he means by e-learning. Is it like an e-learning website or what?
St. Bruno, can you substantiate?
Okay, so yes, so WordPress can be used for building an e-learning site. However, there's something called there's something in WordPress called plugins. Okay, so a plugin is like an extension. So there are people who build plugins, So a plugin could be like a fully working e-learning solution. So you basically, once you've installed your WordPress website, you can purchase a plugin which has the component of e-learning. And once you integrate it with the website, once you install it, it automatically enables the entire e-learning ecosystem, and your students are able to use it. There's one called LearnPress. Let me type it here in the chat. Okay, so there's a plugin called LearnPress, but there are quite others as well. Okay. Okay, so maybe Mr. Dung, maybe as I conclude, just give me some 3 minutes just to basically show that team how, for example, this website was built. So this site was built over a period of like a month. Okay, so this is the school website for Gayaza. You can see here, these are the different pages. You can see familiar things: appearance, plugins, users, settings. Okay, and of course now for me, I decided to create additional things like projects, the different programs, the curriculum. So you're able to add all these other things that don't come with WordPress. So WordPress has media, posts, pages. If I go to my posts, for example, okay, you can see it has the list of all the posts. Okay, not sure why my display is very weird. Okay, but if I go to pages, the same thing. It's going to show me the list of all the. This is the list of all the pages. Okay, and if I basically just visit the website so that we just appreciate WordPress.
Bruno, as you continue, I've just shared in the chat, members, whoever is with you in that room, try to see that you register them. The registration is very simple. You can, the first person can register, then another one clicks on the link until when everybody in your room has registered. Okay, let's go on.
Okay, so just quickly, this is like a website built using WordPress. Okay, so you can see I have home, about, academics, students, events, and news. And then under about, there is governance, and I think you remember I showed you something like that. You had governance, and then you had management, you had board of governors, PTA. So all these pages, once you have listed all the pages you want to have on your website, okay, all you need to do is to create them and begin adding content to them. Okay, so if you do a Google search for Gayaza High School, you can visit this website. It's a WordPress website. Okay, and all these pages have content. Okay, now if I go to this page, for example, okay, if I go here, dormitories, it's going to show me all the different dormitories that are in the school. Okay, so generally, you're able to achieve something like this using WordPress, and you can see this is the same interface. It's because we've had very little time to go through all this, but all these pages can be built using WordPress. Okay, so I've given my number and the email on the chat, so feel free to reach me, and then I'll be able to give you some kind of guidance where you're stuck.
Thank you, Mr. Bruno. I can see the members are registering 6 responses so far, and that is very good. Before we talk about closing, let's see that everyone in your room is registering. As you register, I should be able to see you. Let me just share my screen here. This is, I was just sharing in the chat that this is the first step for us to become innovative. An innovative teacher learns something new every day and then changes the status quo in the school. So we have learned how to create even websites. For me, I was talking about just the blog. The blog is just a portion. Now, Mr. Bruno has showed us that we can actually create school websites through here. The intention of our workshop was to make sure that our schools become visible. And so, as innovative teachers, you are taking the first step to bring your school online. And we thank you, Mr. Bruno, for giving us this knowledge. But also remember, an innovative teacher creates change in the region. So you are going to support schools, and I will use the word support. Do not learn and start charging people to help them, but learn and support other schools so that they can come online. And we want to target by the close of this year all the activities. Because somebody, let me just mute this one. Okay. I was just saying that at the close of this year, we should see all the activities that have happened in your school, including the senior 4 party, the senior 6 party, if there are any meetings, if there are any classroom activities, children doing projects, exhibiting, parents meetings, create pages that can accommodate the different types of activities. And I think the stories you write here could finally become some stories, or the pictures you use here can actually become the pictures on a school calendar for those who do calendars, because then you will have the pictures of something and you will have so many things in one category, and that should give us the product called the calendar. So I want to thank everyone who has been on the call. I can see actually 15 people. 15 people. Madam Nambi from Busoga High, thank you. And I know Busoga High is leading in Busoga. So then we want to see you changing life for schools in Busoga. Logiri Girls has had quite some people in attendance, and we want to thank you. And please, you are going to work with the other person from Arua. I think that was Vura in Arua. There is All Saints Secondary School in Arua. You are going to work with them to make sure that Arua becomes really a center. We've seen Zeu from Zombo. Zeu, you are going to help us bring Zombo schools. Even the private schools should come online. Do not keep it to government schools, even the private schools. Mbale SS, Mr. Masaverisa, thank you for joining in. And I know Mbale SS has been this, the pioneer e-learning school in Mbale, and we really want to see you leading on this one. Kakumiro, Adelante Africa in Kakumiro, thank you for joining, and please make sure Kakumiro schools, we will bring the Prime Minister online. We shall show her the Kakumiro schools online. And I'm going to purpose to find a way of showing Kakumiro schools. And Mujuni Boniface, you have a job to do because the Prime Minister will not want to see only one school. Mukasa Ronald from Mukono, thank you for joining, and please lead us in Mukono. Pajule SS, yes, Pajule SS in Padel, you are almost the one representing Choli land. Please bring all the schools. There is St. John Paul in Gulu also. Now there is Gulu. Gulu, I think, is in, is it West Acholi? And now Pajule, are you East Acholi? I'm not sure. but we have those two blocks. Yes, we have to bring all the schools online. There is somebody from Wakiso. That was Bruno, I think, from Wakiso Girls High School. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is exactly 4:30, and we want to thank all of you for the time you've given to this. May I request that we take the last photo? Those who can put on your cameras and we take the last photograph. The last photograph, I also moved out of the room where I was. Now I'm in the open air. Let's take the last photograph. I'm starting to take pictures. Let me take some more. This is the pioneer team on blog making. And you are going to create the change we want. One last one. Mr. Bazivu, Charles, we can't see you. Sevuma, we can't see you. Oliver's iPhone, we can see. Madam Oliver. Okay, now I take a last one. Okay. So, dear friends, it's been a pleasure hosting you. And I'm going to be on your neck now that you have registered. And at the end of the year, in between, I'm going to keep referring to you to ensure that you're on course. Mr. Bruno, I think we still want to do some more chat GTP. We want to learn how to use it effectively. Otherwise, the youngsters will go ahead of us. I want to thank all those who are joining as a team, as a school. That feels warm, but make sure everybody, Pajule SS, not everybody has registered there. Make sure they all register. May I ask Oliver, can you speak? We want you to pray for us as we close. If you can speak, Oliver, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Lord, Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for this meeting. I want to thank you that we have been able to be in the same room using the social media and using the media and the net. Lord, Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for Mr. Dungu and Mr. Bruno for this vision and this kind of sharing. Lord, Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for setting up a system that is going to see us in high. I'm going to see us creativity at hand. I'm going to publish us, Lord, Heavenly Father. We pray that as we stand here, that you continue guiding us, that we continue keeping the vibe, and that the sky will be the limit. All this I pray in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Oliver. And ladies and gentlemen, adult learning is difficult. There are no exams, but the product at the end of 3 months. We are going to take October, take November, and then as we break off December, we shall look at your website, but we shall keep reminding you. Thank you, Mr. Bruno, for leading us into this. And to everyone, I want to thank you for attendance, and I sign off as Ronald Dungu, sitting here in Kampala. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
What is the next meeting? Bye.
Somebody wanted my number. Somebody wanted my WhatsApp number. It's in the
Please.
in the chat. It's in the chat. My WhatsApp number is in the chat. 0701 433 878.
Again.
That's my WhatsApp number. 0701 433 878. Pajule had some students. Were those students? Pajule SS. I think they had some students.
These are senior 6 students.
Wow, they have also learned. That was very good of you. Yes. Let them go and help their people in the villages to write blogs.
That's true.
Members, don't forget on Saturday there is senior for chemistry seminar on Saturday. Those who can attend senior for seminar on Saturday.
Also on this, which also on
I will now stop the recording and close the room.
Okay, Mr. Dungu.